the beneficent, the merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praise is due forever. I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is indeed his true servant, the arisen and exalted Christ. I further bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan Muhammad is their divine reminder, serving and warning in our midst today. And in their names, I'd like to greet you with the greeting words of peace and of paradise. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
And those words simply mean peace be unto you. Yes. And we thank you for your presence here today. If you have ever read the Bible in the New Testament, you know that every time Jesus came amongst his disciples, he would always greet them with peace.
That's right.
And when he would leave them, he would always leave them with peace.
Right.
Be unto you. Well, Jesus did not speak English.
Come on.
We know that, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Didn't live in America.
Jesus did not speak English. Jesus spoke what's called Aramaic, which is a dialect of Arabic, and ancient Hebrew.
Come on.
So in his original tongue, 2,000 years ago, when Jesus came amongst his disciples, he would have said in Hebrew, Shalom,
That's right.
Alaikum.
That's right.
And in the Arabic or Aramaic, he would have said, Assalamu alaikum.
Right.
So we strive to follow in the footsteps
Go ahead.
of this most precious human being,
Come on.
Jesus, the Christ.
That's right.
Now that sounds strange to some people coming from Muslims. But did you know that one cannot be a Muslim if he does not believe in Jesus?
Go ahead.
See, Satan has the world so messed up. And he has you and I fighting and killing one another. Religious gangbanging.
Yes.
Right.
See.
I'm Catholic, I'm Methodist, I'm Christian, I'm Muslim, I'm Jewish, and we are all fighting over religious customs.
Ooh.
Not even the substance behind the customs
Come on.
and the traditions. So we are fighting for things that's on the surface while Satan sits back and laughs
Come on.
and continues to rule the world. So yes, if you were to open up the Holy Quran, we have an entire chapter
That's right.
of this book dedicated to the mother of Jesus.
Right.
Right. That's right.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
In this book, Jesus is referred to as the Messiah,
Yes. Son of Mary.
son of Mary.
Yes.
In this book, Quran.
See.
Right.
But when people talk bad about Islam, they don't go in the book and show you that part.
No.
That's right.
No. Right.
They show you the parts that kind of fits with their narrative.
That's right.
And they'll take one sentence out and then say, see, this is what they believe.
That's right.
But no, you and I should always have what's called context,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
meaning a wider view of a thing, having all of the information so that you can make a good, sound decision.
Yes, sir.
So yes, we as Muslims believe in Jesus. We strive to follow Jesus as best we can and hope one day to be like him.
Yes, yes, sir.
Teach.
And so, you know, today, by God's grace and permission, I would like to deal with the subject that for the Muslims in the Nation of Islam, we hear it all the time,
Yes.
but I want to come at it from a different perspective. So, the title of today's talk is, Who is the Original Man?
Yes, sir.
Who is the original man?
Good question.
Now, that question, who is the original man, is a question that was asked by the founder of the Nation of Islam. We refer to him as Master Farad Muhammad. He asked that question to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes.
Right.
And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave him the answer
Yes.
to that question.
Come on.
It was a test.
Ooh.
He was asking Elijah this question to see if he had retained
Go ahead.
what he had been taught
Go ahead.
and if he understood what he had been taught. The answer is the original man is the Asiatic black man. The maker,
Right.
the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, God of the universe. Whoa. Whoa. Now, black people have never even thought to ask that question
Go ahead.
because we too busy struggling trying to make it every day.
Oh. That's right.
I don't have no time trying to figure out who is the original man. I'm trying to pay this rent. I'm trying to get this food on the table.
Come on, T.
I'm trying to get the bag. That's what they say today. I'm trying to get this bag. So that's the last thing that's on my mind. But not understanding that that's one of the most important questions you could ever ask. Because this question does a lot for us. Now check this out. We want to break it down a little bit. Let's go through it. The original man is. Let's start with this word original. I was on social media yesterday, and there was this lady who was counseling her girlfriend. Her girlfriend had got into it with her husband. And in a fit of rage, she told her husband, I don't need you. I don't need you. I can take care of myself. I can do this, I can do that, and such and such and such. So she called her friend bawling and crying and such and such. And the friend was trying to counsel her. And she was telling her. First of all, she said, let me ask you some questions. Yeah, she didn't just go in giving her answers. She said, let me ask you some questions. And one of the questions she asked was, did you actually tell this man that you don't need him? She said, yeah, I told him. She said, oh, Lord. She said, you might not know it, but your words can cut a man down. And men are raised to be maintainers, protectors, providers. And when you tell a man you don't need him, these are her words. When you tell a man you don't need him, you take away, you cut his manhood. Now he really won't do nothing for you. Isn't that something? So my thing is, whenever I see stuff like this, the first thing I do is I go into the comment section. Because the comments, that's where all the fun is. Yeah, that's where I jump off at, in the comment section. All through the comment section, there's a lot of sisters in here talking about, I don't need no man, I want a man. I don't need him, but I want him. I don't never want to need anybody, but I want him. And this is all the way down the comment section. It's like 1,000 comments. And the first thing popped in my mind was, they have never looked up the word need. They never looked it up. In all of those 1,000 comments, I never saw anybody say, well, this is what the word need means. It was, well, I think, and I feel. See, that's what all through the comments. I think and I feel. See, but I don't need no man, but I want the man, but that's two different things. You never looked up the word need. Because in the definition of the word need is want.
Right. That's right, bro.
Go ahead.
So it just goes to show us how messed up we are as a people.
Right, right.
So I like to define words,
Yes, sir.
so I know what I'm talking about.
That's right. That's right.
So this word, original,
Come on now.
means present or existing from the beginning. It also means first
Come on.
or earliest. So the question can be rephrased and asked, who is the first man? Who is the earliest man? Who was the man who was here from the beginning?
Go ahead with it. Go ahead.
Huh? Why is this question so important? It's important because, first of all, it forces you and I to think. And at the same time, it introduces us to ourselves.
Come on.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Most of our people, like I said earlier, never even thought about asking ourselves this question. And that's basically because of our upbringing and our schooling in America. Notice I didn't say education. Our schooling in America. So this question also answers the question of who are the chosen people of God.
Right. Go ahead. Right.
It's a lot in it. This little book right here, called The Supreme Wisdom. This little thin book right here has so much in it.
Yes, sir.
We'll get into it. Look. Right now, there's an ongoing question in America about the current vice president who's running for president, Kamala Harris.
Right.
The question is she black?
Right.
Or is she Indian?
White folks question.
Right? Exactly. White folks question. Donald Trump question. Our people are getting caught up on these things, on such questions, which is causing a divide among us.
Yes.
So now if you go on YouTube, there's these brothers who don't like black women because they've been hurt by black women.
Go ahead.
Now all of a sudden they going after Kamala Harris, talking about, well, she really ain't black. You see? And then all the sisters, they like, yeah, Kamala. So you got this divide that's going on in America. white and black amongst black, because of our misunderstanding. So look, we forget that the job of Satan is to divide and to conquer. Along with this, there is the immigration debate. Black people in America are upset with the immigrants. They taking our job. One sister said, I'm upset because the immigrant got my food truck. So what's happening is the immigrants are coming into America. They are being allowed to come into America. And they are going to specific states. And the federal government is funding them. There was one, this sister, she was so upset. Say she went to the store, go buy something from the store, and they had immigrant, they call them immigrants, in front of her. And she left her receipt after she bought her little stuff from the store. And she had like $13,000 in food stamps and $5,000 cash. And this is what the government, this is in Chicago. That's what they're getting. Another person, he said he saw one, dude had $10,000 in food stamps and about $3,500 cash. And black people are so upset because they're like, man, I work day and night. Work my fingers to the bone. You won't even give me $200 in food stamps. So what we don't understand and what we're not seeing is that the government is doing this purposely. It's a strategy to make you and I go at one another. And you and I don't see one another as brothers and sisters, but as enemies. See?
Yes, sir.
Good point.
So look, I remember once I was out with the Final Call newspaper, and a brother was walking by. I said, how you doing, black man? He got upset. I ain't no black man. I said, well, what are you? I ain't black. I said, well, yes, sir, you have a good day. See? Yeah, I hope you feel better. We have been made to hate blackness. We really have. There's a tremendous amount of self-hatred among us that has been taught and ingrained into us by our enemies. I really want us to get this. I really want us to get this. Because believe it or not, if we can get this, we can be free. See, this is not just a lecture, a sermon that you come in to hear. I know we got dressed, we're going to come and we're going to hear Pastor say some words and that. No. This is that thing that our ancestors prayed for. But we just have to recognize it. Inshallah. Look, and our Savior has arrived. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad writes these words, quote, you who have been here in America for 400 years have never been taught a true knowledge of self, God, and his religion, Islam. as long as you are without such essential knowledge, which is the key to salvation, freedom, justice, and equality, you are not free. Think about that. It is true that the truth shall make the lost and found members of the tribe of Shabazz free, but they have never known what truth it was that shall make them free. See, Jesus said it. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Some say set you free, right? But the truth makes you free. But Jesus never told them what truth that was. You can go in the book, go and read it. It never says what that truth is. And then Jesus said, there are many things that I could tell you, but you can't bear it now. So Jesus did not tell the people that truth that would make them free because the people weren't ready to hear that kind of truth. He said, but when he is come.
That's what he said right there in that book. Another fellow.
Isn't that what he said?
Yes.
Not me, but when he is come. He will guide you into all truth. So Jesus is talking about somebody else. See, this is where it starts to get a little rocky. Because of our schooling.
That's right.
And our being, what's the word I'm looking for? Indoctrination.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Into the world and the mind of our enemies. Because who taught you and I Bible? I mean, you got to think about that. Everything we know in America, who taught it to us? Who gave it to us? So if your enemy gave you something, do you think he's going to give you something to overcome him with? We didn't even have this whole book. And this ain't even the whole book. We had about this much of the book called a slave Bible. Y'all ever saw it? You can go online, Google it. It's called a slave Bible. That's the Bible they taught the slaves from. It was half this size, maybe a third of this size. Yeah, it's real.
That's right.
So who gave you and I our interpretation of Scripture? Somebody made an interpretation. So look, the truth that comes to us, or he says that truth, comes to us at the end of the Caucasian world. See, you're looking at some things here, man. Now you have time involved. So he's giving you and I a time frame on when these things will take place, when this truth will be revealed. He says the end has come. But check this out. And Allah has also come to make manifest this hidden truth to us, the black nation of the earth. And first to the lost members of that nation. That's a lot. Jesus said, I'm not going to tell you that truth. He's going to tell you that truth. Who is he?
Go ahead, the spirit of truth.
Who is he? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us when that truth was coming at the end of the Caucasian's world. He said the end has come and Allah also has come.
Now.
Right.
So the He is God.
Yes.
Right.
Go ahead.
The He is the supreme being.
Come on.
And He's going to reveal that hidden truth.
Ooh.
Ah. But check it out. He's going to reveal that truth to the black nation of the earth.
Hey.
But check it out. You got to really catch this. I've been reading this stuff, man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was so wise. And the more I go back and read and study, the more I see. He says to the black nation of the earth, he said, but and first to the lost members of that nation. So the whole earth,
Yeah.
there's a black nation.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But from among the black nation, there's a tribe of them that has been lost.
Lord.
Right.
To them first.
And to that lost member,
Teach.
that lost tribe, God is going to come first
Ooh.
because they are in the worst condition.
Yes.
We getting to something. We getting to something. According to the Bible and the Holy Quran Sharif, it is the divine purpose of Allah to make known this hidden truth that shall make the black nation free. Now, here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says the so-called Negro's problem of getting the truth is very hard. But the hardest problem to solve is getting them to believe it after getting it in their ears.
Lord.
Yes, sir.
Lord.
Process. Good point.
It's hard to get it, but it's even harder to get them to believe it after they hear it.
Right.
He says this is due to their being brought up solely under the teachings of their enemies. That means that some of us here today may have had a rough time getting here.
Yes.
Or someone may have invited you and been trying to get you to come for a long time.
All right.
And you finally said, well, I'm going to come
That's right.
just to get them off your back. So now you are getting the truth in your ears.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But the hardest part is when we ask for acceptances.
Uh-oh.
Right.
You might say to yourself, I don't believe that. And then go right back into the world stressing over your condition.
Wow. Look at that.
Worrying about how I'm going to pay these bills. Stressing about how your boss isn't treating you right.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And how the white man is holding you back. But you just left a place that gave you the answer on how to solve those problems.
Yes, yes, yes.
But because of our being baptized in the world of our enemy,
Come on now.
anything that he does not approve of, we don't accept it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Because his ice is colder. His sugar is sweeter. Hmm? Even though it's that truth that Jesus spoke about that will make you and I free.
Yes, yes.
Now, check this out. We still got a couple more definitions. So the original man is the Asiatic black man. Why Asiatic?
Lord.
Why Asiatic? What time is it? Y'all know I never have enough time. Why is he the Asiatic black man? Because at one time, the earth was not called earth.
Teach.
the earth way back used to be called Asia. So if you go back and look at old maps of the world, on those old globes, it divided
Right.
the planet. You had East Asia, West Asia, North and South Asia, Asia Minor, Asia Major. So at one time the earth was called Asia.
Teach now.
So we are called the Asiatic black man because we are from or of the planet Asia.
Go ahead, teach.
Now this word black, man, sometimes people just go nuts when you call them black. Have you ever, anybody here is familiar with the company called Adobe? Adobe, they do Photoshop. They do all of the, stuff like that, right? Well, Adobe, they have a blog and these educational platforms where you can go and learn creative things, right? Learn about colors, learn about design, learn about all these things. So I went there and looked up the word black. This is what Adobe says. Black, as any rainbow will demonstrate. Black isn't on the visible spectrum of color.
Right.
All other colors are reflections of light, except black. Black is the absence of light. It's the absence of light. See? So it's not necessarily the absence of color, because the color is within the black. All the colors come from black. But black is the absence of light. And look at what it says. Unlike white and other hues, pure black can exist in nature without any light at all.
Ooh. Simple thought.
You don't even need light. That's why the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that we were here before the sun was even here.
Go ahead, teach.
See? So we don't have to worry about, oh, is the sun up? Is it too hot outside?
Go ahead, teach.
No, your and my fathers created the sun.
Yes.
We were here before that thing was even here. Black had already existed
Teach.
before light.
Go ahead.
So we should be proud to be called black. Now, the maker, the owner. Make means to form something by putting parts together or combining substances. Construct, create. It also means to cause something to exist or come about. So if you cause something to exist from your brain, from your mind, and put the necessary parts together in constructing this thing, then you are the owner of what you bring into existence. Cream of the planet Earth. Now, cream, we know, is the yellow part of milk
Yes.
that contains butterfat,
Yes, sir.
and that rises to the top. You can just skim that off. That's where you in the store they call it skim milk,
Right.
because they skim all the butterfat off.
That's right.
But another definition of cream is the choicest part, the best.
Go ahead.
So every time we are allowed to get into anything in this society, we tend to dominate in that field.
That's right.
Basketball used to be a white man's game. Not no more. That's us. Football used to be a white man's game. You know, Negroes can't think enough to be quarterbacks. No, that's us now.
That's right.
Right? Gymnastics. That was white people's sport.
Yes.
Now it belongs to us. This white woman got upset and wanted to change the rules of gymnastics because none of her girls could do what Simone Biles does. So she wanted to change the rules. Because not only did Simone Biles take over, she excels so far that there's a move that she does that nobody else can do.
God. That's a God.
Man, that's God. Isn't that something?
Yes.
Lastly, and this is the most difficult part, it says, you are the God of the universe. Who, me? Yes, you. I ain't no God. Why not? Yes, you are. That's right. Who told you you weren't a God? See, that's blasphemy. Why would I say, well, how is that blasphemy? Doesn't this book say? Didn't I say ye are all what?
God.
Oh, children of who?
Most High God.
Oh. And didn't Jesus himself even say that? Jesus went back and quoted that scripture because the Jews wanted to put him to death. He said, yo, this is modern version. Yo, what's up? Why are you trying to kill me, a man that has told you the truth?
Yes.
See, the truth. They say we don't stone you for the truth that you speak. Man, there's some heavy stuff in this. Even the Jews knew that Jesus was speaking the truth.
Yes.
See? But they said that's not why we trying to stone you. We stone you because you, being a man, maketh yourself God. And then Jesus responded, well, isn't it in your scripture
Right.
that I said ye all gods? And it said, now if he called them gods to whom the word came, that's the what they call them, the person narrator. Have you ever asked yourself the question, who's narrating this book? Because Jesus spoke. He said, isn't it written in your law that ye are gods? Right? And then right after that, it says, now if he called them gods to whom the word came, then the word cannot be broken. Who is that saying that?
Good question. Good question.
Come on now.
Because Jesus' word is supposed to be in red.
Come on.
And then they say, well, this one said that and this one said that. But then somebody narrates something and gives you a clearer idea of what this means.
Come on.
Who is that? That's a whole nother subject.
Yes.
Take it up.
Look, so yes, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the word God means having power and force. So at one time, we had so much power.
Yes.
We had so much force that we could put stars in the heavens.
Yes, sir.
But the question is, what happened to us? Why we can't do that today? See, so that's why it's so hard for us to believe this sometimes on our capacity. Because When you start talking about how the black man used to be able to do this and the black man, and then you turn around and look, be like, no, I don't think so. Because I'm looking at black people today, and we keep barely surviving. And you mean to tell me I'm a god? Yeah. If you read and look at all of the superhero movies, they're all about you. They're all about you. See? Even Superman had kryptonite. But all these things are about you. Look at this. Now I'm going to go into this, and I want you to follow me. There was something in us from the very beginning. Remember? The original man existed from the beginning. From the very beginning, there was something in us, a defect, if you will, right? That had to be corrected and made manifest. This would be like the last or final stage of purification in making us the perfect people, the perfect rulers. And this process of purification, it would be most difficult. But at the end of it, we will emerge as the perfect transmitters of the Spirit of God.
Yes.
See? You know how sometimes, you have this light and the light be flickering, and you be like hitting stuff, or you got a flashlight and you be trying to get that thing, but it be flickering, right?
Right.
There's something going on, man. Something happening with the batteries.
That's right.
Battery's going down.
Go ahead, teach.
So you got to change the battery. And when you change the battery, now you got a good stream of light that's coming through. Or you have a wire that's loose that has to be sorted. Some kind of defect that's happening, that once that defect is corrected, now you have something that you can use. Well, even with our defects, we still put sun, moon, and stars in the heavens. Think about that. And on our way down to death, we still put pyramids out there. The minister said, when you see those pyramids, that's us in our fall. That's not us at the height of who we were. That's us in our fall. Isn't that something? And these people still don't know how they were built.
That's right.
So look, once this happens, then we will be able to bring the entire world back to the straight path of God again. So it's in the Bible. If you and I read it carefully and look at it with a critical eye, I would say look at it again with fresh eyes.
Right, that's right.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Let's look at it. Don't look at it from the viewpoint of our enemy. But let's just, in a new moment in time,
Yes.
let's look at it again. In the 15th chapter of Genesis, God tells Abram, and this is the New Living Translation, you can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land, where they will be oppressed as slaves for 400 years. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
But check this out. But I, God, will punish the nation
Come on.
that enslaves them.
Yes.
And in the end, they will come away with great wealth. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, sir.
So, I I had to go and search for what people been enslaved for 400 years. I had to look it up. And you all know I only had 2 slides. Brother Willie be like 50 slides. I don't even know if this thing gonna work for my slide. There it is. You can't read it, but I'll read it to you. So I looked this up on Google, and I typed in, what people have been enslaved for 400 years? And you know they got the new AI thing come up there now, Gemini. And Gemini said, boom, African Americans have been enslaved in the United States for over 400 years, beginning in 1619, when a ship carrying 20 enslaved Africans arrived in Jamestown, Virginia. The enslaved Africans were traded to Virginians in exchange for food and supplies, and were put to work in nearby homes and plantations. Their skills as farmers and artisans were critical to the daily struggle to survive. In the years that followed, international slave traders brought increasing numbers of enslaved Africans to North America, with most coming from Western Africa. By the time the United States became a nation, around 700,000 enslaved people were living there, with the majority in the southern states where tobacco and cotton were important crops. That's what it said. It didn't mention nobody else.
That's right. Go ahead. Wow.
Did you catch that?
Yes, sir. Straight up.
So, you know, that's you.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't mention the Jews.
That's right.
It doesn't mention the Israelis living over in Israel right now,
Yes.
saying we are the chosen people of God. It doesn't mention none of them. You can Google it yourself. It says that you are the only people that have been enslaved for 400 years. So what you and I get in the Bible is a prophecy
Yes.
of how this whole thing would play out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think.
So after God tells Abram what would happen to his people, right after that now you get Moses
Yes.
and the children of Israel in bondage to Pharaoh and the Egyptians.
Yes.
That story never took place 4,000 years ago. That's prophecy.
Yes.
Ah.
Listen.
Let me take a little water. So I'm telling you, that question, who is the original man, is so it can go so deep and so wide. So look, after you get now Moses and the children of Israel in bondage in Egypt, anybody ever heard of Anwar Sadat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He used to be the president of Egypt. Now, you know, Egypt has the most extensive records of history. He was standing in front of the Sphinx, or one of the pyramids, with Menachem Begin. And Menachem Begin said, yes, it's so wonderful that we are standing in front of the pyramids that our people built. And Anwar Sadat looked at him and gave him a side eye.
Yes.
We have no history of that in our records. Jews be trying to, man, they be trying to play victim, like they the ones.
Right.
Do you know that Benjamin Netanyahu, that's not his name?
Oh, what is it, Philip Smith?
He has a German name. His last name is German. All of his people in his cabinet now have these Yiddish names.
Yiddish,
They all have German names. They changed their names to make it fit as though they are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Those people are white Europeans. And they have usurped and taken your place. You are the chosen people of God. It's in the book, man. The book says, did not love Jacob and hated Esau? Well, why would God do that? Why would God say that? Because Esau was weak, man. And he let his brother steal his birthright. Jacob. And then it says Jacob wrestled with an angel all night long. And his name was changed from Jacob to Israel. Esau was the older brother. Jacob was the younger brother. You are the original man. You are the older brother. The Caucasian is just a baby who just came on the planet yesterday. And he has stolen your birthright, saying that he is the chosen one. Well, if he is the original, then he should be able to stand in the light of the sun and not die. Huh? I'm just saying. He should be able to exist without the sun. But he can't. That lets you know he's not original. The Mendelian theory. Go check it out. What is it? Mendelian theory. The dude did some experiments on peas. He was like, whoa, let's check this out. So he was breeding and grafting peas. And he had a dominant and a recessive. And he would mix the two or graft the two together. You grafting when you're doing plant botany. It's called grafting. Right? And he was like, you can get the recessive from the dominant. But you cannot get the dominant from the recessive. You can get white from black. You can get yellow from black, red from black, brown from black, purple from black, but you can't get black from white and any of them other colors.
Listen.
All right? So here you now have a people in bondage. God is trying to show us something. Then the Lord said in Exodus 3:7, I have surely seen the affliction of who? Whose people? God says, my people. Do I have a slide on that? Yes. Getting good at this PowerPoint thing. I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt. Stop right there. Stop right there. God has a people. And the Egyptians were not his people. God loves everybody. We all the same. Not according to this. God said that his people were the ones that were in affliction. They were in affliction in Egypt. And have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their sufferings. And listen at this. And I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them out of that land and to a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And now, behold, the cry of the people of Israel has come to me. You are Israel.
Yeah, go ahead, teach.
Not that place over
Go
there.
ahead, teach.
You are the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Listen at this. And I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppress them. See, the Egyptians, that's not God's people. They oppressing God's people. Come, I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. It's so much in that. God has a people. His people are the ones being oppressed.
That's right.
He said, man, I hear their cries. I hear their afflictions. I have to come down and I am going to deliver them.
Come on.
But then he says, I'm going to send you, Moses, to Pharaoh. And you, Moses, are going to bring the children of have to now look at this time frame.
Yes, yes.
God's people will be in bondage and oppressed for 400 years. After those 400 years, God comes. And he comes to bring them out of the affliction of the oppression. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that that time comes at the end of the Caucasian's world. And he said, the end is now or here. And he said, Allah, God is also here. And the God, Jehovah, did not make himself known to everybody. He made himself known to one person, Moses.
That's right.
And he taught Moses. And he showed Moses his power. And then he told Moses, I'm going to send you to Pharaoh, but don't worry, I will be with you. Listen at this. It says, I have come down to deliver them. Not anyone else. I have come down to deliver them. I say this because, look, there's a chorus of black people who don't like to be called black saying, you can't call yourself black. And you shouldn't call yourself black. Because there's no place called black on the planet. And the United Nations would not acknowledge you or recognize you in trying to get reparations because there's no particular landmass that you belong to because you call yourself black. What time is it? I gotta hurry up. Dang. They say, you're not gonna get reparations if you don't belong somewhere. I want to read something to you. I think I have it. Yeah. Phenomenal Minister Louis Farrakhan. Check this out. This is in the latest issue of the Final Call newspaper. And he's talking about the genocide that's taking place in Palestine. And he says this. He quoted one of the former prime ministers of Israel, Golda Meir. She said, there was no such thing as Palestinians. It was not as though there was a Palestinian people in Palestine considering itself as a Palestinian people. And we came and threw them out and took their country from them. To us, they did not exist. See, now there's a lot in that too. Because check it out. There were people there, but they weren't saying we Palestinians. They were just, we the original people. We've been living here forever, man. We ain't got to call ourselves by no particular piece of land. That don't make us who we are. But these people came in and put boundaries around and started calling that place by names. But it said we took their land from them. See? So the minister says she is boldly saying, yeah, we took your country and threw you out because in their minds you don't exist. Now, one of Allah's names are attributes. He says there are two that mean he who causes everything that exists to exist. Al-Khaliq. And he who produces the means and maintenance of their existence. Al-Hayy, Hayy. So check this out. So for a Jewish woman to say they have not in their mind any existence at all, see, this is the way they talk now. And by Mr. Biden bowing down and using my poor black sister, Linda Thomas Greenfield, that's over the American representation at the Security Council. I saw her 3 times with a veto in her hand. She is a mother, she is a grandmother, but she is being used to veto everybody's disagreement with Israel so that it never carries. Brothers and sisters, if it means nothing in the United Nations, that because of the American veto, nothing gets done. America is canceling the United Nations. So for you now to think, well, we'll take our case to the United Nations. For what? This has been with the United Nations for 40 years. You don't exist to them. Moving you and me and us is petty stuff to them. Taking you over, robbing you of your just due in every industry where you both are working together. They take you out because you don't mean anything to them. So don't get upset with us because we say we are black and you don't want to be referred to as black because you think the United Nations is going to give you justice. The United Nations belongs to America. And the only thing they have to do is veto. Veto. Do you know how long the minister just said our case has been at the United Nations for over 40 years? Now Malcolm X was like, okay, we're not going to talk about, we're going for human rights. And I'm going to bring the case to the United Nations. Malcolm went to the United Nations? Where we at? Where we at? We're still in Egypt. Under bondage.
Yes, sir.
We all right?
Yes,
I'm moving faster. I'm moving faster. So look. So we should not be waiting on anyone else but God. And the one that he raises up to represent him for our salvation. He called us black. God. He called us black. And he will bring us into a land of our own. See, most of us don't want to leave white people. We comfortable among them. We comfortable catching hell. We complain about it, but we love it. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, the reason you and I haven't made the progress that we should is because we don't hate the devil enough. See, when Moses brought the children of Israel out of Egypt, they started cursing Moses out. Man, you brought us out here in this wilderness. We had it better. We had it better in Egypt. Some of them went back to Egypt, wanted to go back to Egypt. And you know, in order for those to go back to Egypt, they had to receive a mark stating that they were the property of Egypt. Do you know what that mark was? An earring. Yeah. I'm volunteering my body as a slave and my mind as a slave to Pharaoh. So here, put this earring in your ear. I used to have earrings in both ears back in the days, but not no more. But look, man, you are a beautiful people. You are a loved people by God himself. God loves you. And this is the time for our rise and to be freed from Pharaoh. So look, we're talking about time frame. It's not going to happen until after the 400 years. Now, when I read this to you earlier, those people said 1619 started the 400 years. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the 400 years actually started in 1555. 1555. So 1555, add 400 years to that. What do you get? 19 what? Huh? 55. Do you know what happened in 1955? Huh? The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan walked into the Savior's Day Convention and became the helper of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in 1955. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So now all of a sudden things are in motion. Things are starting to move, family. And things are being worked out for our benefit. So after this 400 years, then God is going to come and judge that nation. How will he judge that nation? How did Jehovah judge Egypt?
Come on, by mistreatment of the slaves.
What did he do? What did he bring? Plagues. Of what? Rain. Brimstone. Insects. Right? All those things. Plagues. Disease. Right? What do you see happening in America? What do you see?
Yes, sir. Unprecedented.
Do you know Anthony Fauci?
Yes.
Do you know he was in the hospital yesterday?
What?
No, he didn't have COVID. West Nile virus. Isn't that ironic? See? See, Pharaoh was out there doing bad, talking about, you know, he was going to kill all the firstborn, and then God turned that thing around on him. Whatever you wish on the children of Israel is going to happen to you. Anthony Fauci was out here telling people to get all these jabs. Now he in the hospital. I'm just saying. Don't you see the rain? Don't you see the storms going up the East Coast? Has it been extraordinarily hot lately? Huh? Wildfires taking place? Do you see all the people moving from Florida And they moving inland. California, they moving inland. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said from the Holy Quran, can't you see that we are visiting the land, curtailing her of her sides? The messenger said that Allah is going to bash the coastlines of America. And he's going to force the people to move inland. And that's where the destruction is going to happen. So now, man, you know, now every time hurricane's coming, bam, hitting Florida, bam, hitting Florida, hitting these, hitting the coastlines. Hitting the coastlines. And these people are like, man, I don't think I'm going to come back. Every time I rebuild, here comes another storm. So next thing you know, they say they moving inward now. They're moving inland. Because this is what's happening. And it's all happening because of the way you and I are being treated. See, black people don't think that we're that important. But all of this is happening in and to America because of you. Now, this is the last part, and we can get out of here. Because I want to bring this part home. Yeah, I got my brother here. I'm glad he's here.
That's right. Come on, we here.
And some others. I want to read something to you. Also from this final call. The minister says, for these last 2 months, I have been in my house, in my room, music room, baptizing myself in the pain and the bloodshed of my Palestinian family. Brothers and sisters, that is our family. You may not think that, but it's okay. You have to grow beyond yourself. And you have to know there are people in this world that are connected to you far beyond your own black skin. And it was cool because, I like this because there was a comment that was brought up, and brother was like, man, I got an issue with that. Because them people don't be acting like they our family. We be the one calling them family. People act like they hate us. They look down at us. Look down their noses at us. Call us niggas. Them people. Right? But the minister said they are our family. And I was telling them, you know, at one point, still working on it, couldn't stand Arabs. I just couldn't stand them, man. Because when I came into the knowledge of Islam, then I realized, yo, bruh, you've been having this the whole time. And you ain't never shared the word of Allah with us. But you take advantage of our young sisters working in your gas stations. And you sell us hog. You sell us cigarettes. You sell us paraphernalia. But you don't mention Allah to us. I hated the Arabs. Until the minister said, well, you know, our Savior is an Arab. And we love him. And I was like, damn. So, you know, I said, well, I love him. I'm going to work on the rest of these other ones. But there was something so interesting in that. Remember, we talked about, I'm going to see if I'm going to read it to you again. See if you catch it. See if you catch it. See if you catch it. from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He says these words. Bear with me. Oh, here it is. He says, the end has come, and Allah has also come to make manifest this hidden truth to us, the black nation of the earth. And first, to the lost members of that nation. There's a whole nation out there called the black nation.
That's right.
But of the black nation, there's a member who's lost.
Yes.
Hmm?
Yes, sir.
All right, one more time. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. We all got this book?
Yes, sir.
We should go into this book and check this out and read this part. This is so interesting. And I read it, I'm like, oh snap, this is so heavy. Look at what he says. This is on page 68, Message to the Black Man, talking about what is Islam. He says, the prophets of Islam include Noah, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Job, David, Solomon, and Jonah. But check out these words. The people of Islam are the black people.
Oh. Good God.
Listen at this though. Now the people of Islam are the black people, and their numbers are made up of the brown, yellow, and red people called races.
Wow.
We think of black people as just people who look like this.
Yeah, right, right. Wow. The red, the yellow, yeah.
The only people that are not black people are Caucasian.
That's right. Go ahead. They're the minority.
See, you see all of our people all over the world, and they have these different hues, different skin colors. That's because they have been intermixing with Caucasians.
That's right.
That's why he says on here, and the red man. We didn't have red people at first. The red man is the brown man mixing with the white man.
Go ahead. Teach. Look at that. Look at
The
that.
native people, Native Americans.
Teach.
And white people came over here talking about how and peace. We come in peace. Then they take off their daughters and produce children. And they became the red man. Who do you think the Mexican is? That's the native people. They done been mixed with white people.
That's it.
If you go down to Australia and New Zealand, they have what's called the Aborigines.
Yeah.
That means the aboriginal people from the original.
Go ahead. Teach.
And they keep them hidden down in the jungle.
Right.
And you don't hear nothing from them. They had this one white boy called himself, you know what they call them when they do these missionaries. He wanted to teach these native people about Jesus Christ. And he went down there with his Bible. And they ain't never seen him again. They killed him. Don't come down here with that, man. So, the original black man is every people on every part of the planet Earth.
Go ahead. Teach now.
But
Go ahead.
they are lost.
Yes.
They don't have the knowledge of self.
That's right.
Talk to the Dominican and ask him what color he is. He ain't gonna tell you he black.
Right.
I'm Dominican. I'm Haitian. See, they go by where they live. They allow a plot of land to determine who they are.
Go ahead. Teach.
I'm Nigerian.
Yeah.
I'm Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Not that I'm black. No, because see, Master Fard Muhammad, when he called us black, he connected us to all of our people on the planet. We are divided because of nationality. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, in order to produce the Caucasian, there was a process of grafting or birth control. And in that first 200 years of this process, you got from the black man, you got a brown man. The original, the brown man, is the Japanese. You didn't know? If you go and you go down deep in Japan, you call the Ainu people. They darker than us. I mean, black, but they got slanted eyes. Yes. But Japan, they're the brown man. They were the first ones to come out of that process. And then they went into that particular area, and that's where they lived. Then there was another 200-year period, and out of that came what's called the yellow man. The yellow man is the Chinese.
Yes, that's right.
All of them still have some original blood in them. That's why they are called aboriginal.
Yes.
They are from the original.
Come on.
They are still considered black people. But the last 200 years, you get the complete opposite. You get a human being or a human-like being that has been stripped of everything from the original. He is the complete opposite of the black man. He is not a black man. He is a new man on the planet. So he now, when he got up out of the caves and started traveling the earth, if you notice, everywhere white people go, they call it paradise.
Go ahead, teach.
Because they're so used to being in them caves. They see waterfalls. Oh my God, this is paradise. And then they go and take it over. And then they start mixing with our people. And they produce these different hues of people.
That's right.
See? What do you think the Dutch did in India?
Ooh.
They went in there, that's what you do. At war, you take the booty.
Yes.
You kill the male, you take the female, you produce children through the female that will continue your loins. And those children come out lighter than the original children that were there before, and now you separate them and tell the lighter children that they are better.
That's right.
Because they are closer in color to you.
Teach.
So they created in India a caste system.
Teach now.
And you have a people at the bottom of the caste system called the untouchables.
Right. Sure.
You can't even touch them.
Right.
They can't even speak or look up at somebody else in a higher caste.
That's right. Teach.
They have no soul.
That's right. They clean.
All they trash just collects on the side of the street. See? Yeah, this is what they did.
That's right.
And then you have Belgium, the Dutch, you have the Americans, you have Europe, you have all of them got together in the meeting and said, yo, we're going to carve up Africa. And you take these countries, we're going to take these countries, these and these and these. So now they have Africans saying, I'm Ghanaian. I'm Sudanese. I'm Nigerian. Before all that, you was African. You see? So Africa, do you know Africa is a continent, right?
That's right. Right.
Sometimes we be getting it twisted.
Right. It is a concept.
Africa is a whole continent with 54 countries in it. See, they mess you up on these maps. If you look at the map, they got America looking bigger than Africa. You can put America in Africa 10, 20, 30 times.
Go ahead.
Yeah. This America, United States of America, is one country. There's 54 in Africa.
Yes.
So look, family, I really wanted us to get this because you and I are a very important and special people. You are the ones that God wants.
Come on.
You are the people of God.
Yes, sir.
And we have been lost from our home, lost from our God, and now he comes to restore you and I and give us back all that we have lost. So when you hear other people talking about they're the chosen of God, they're this, they're that, no, that's you. So when you walk with your head up,
That's right. Go ahead.
chest out, back straight.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'm a black man, and I don't have no problems with that. But take this truth from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because you won't find it anywhere else.
That's right.
Because he said, I met God.
Yes.
Just like Moses met God.
Yes.
I'm going to read this one little thing and close out. Brother showing me his watch.
Come on.
I want to read this to you right quick. Message to the black man. Page 17. He said, I asked him, meaning the Honorable Elijah Muhammad asked Master Farad Muhammad. He said, I asked him, who are you? And what is your real name? He said, I am the one that the world has been expecting for the past 2,000 years. I said to him again, what is your name? He said, my name is Mahdi. I am God. I came to guide you into the right path that you may be successful and see the hereafter. Doesn't that sound something like Moses meeting Jehovah? Who are you? When I go to the people, man, who I'm going to say sent me? Tell them I am. That I am. I am that sent you. So, you are the people. We can't, I'm telling you. And I want you to go and try to find another people that fits this description.
Go ahead.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Check it out. On the back of this paper, there's what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe. What the Muslims believe, point number 5. We believe in the resurrection of the dead. Not in physical resurrection, but in mental resurrection. We believe that the so-called Negroes are most in need of mental resurrection. Therefore, they will be resurrected first. All of the rest of the black people on the planet will be resurrected after us. We have that job to go out and resurrect the rest of our people.
Come on.
Furthermore, we believe we are the people of God's choice, as it has been written that God would choose the rejected and the despised. We can find no other persons fitting this description in these last days more than the so-called Negroes in America. We believe in the resurrection of the righteous. That's you, family.
Yes, sir.
That's you.
Yes, sir.
So I hope we said something today that will at least spark a thought in our minds. So y'all see, I only had these two. Yeah, that's it. I gotta work on my PowerPoint game. But I hope I said something that sparked us, man, you know, because we are such a people, we're denying our own salvation. And we go to people to tickle our ears.
That's right.
And we want to go and hear a good song and see a good dance, but not get that truth that will actually set us free. And so I thank you, family, for allowing me to come before you. Assalamu alaikum.